Welcome once again to Akello Dayan TV.
Welcome.
We've missed you guys, and here we are about to talk about something very, very crucial for your marriage and your future marriage. What are we talking about, honey?
Questions to ask your spouse.
Questions with a question mark to ask your spouse.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the first question that somebody can consider asking their spouse?
How would you like me to treat you?
Yeah, very, very important. And I think that's a very important question because, you would want to know what are the expectations of your spouse so that you can meet them as best as you can, so like, hey, how would you want me to treat you? And I think also in addition to that, darling, do you think also the question of how do you want me to treat you when you are angry, is it also important?
It's very important because sometimes some people would like to be left alone.
Yes.
And some people would like to settle things there and then. So, yeah,
very, very important because remember, you two are different. So you literally, we call this forming the constitution for your marriage when these things arise, because the truth is, in marriage, there will be offense. In marriage, there will be disagreements. In marriage, your spouse can make you angry. You can make your spouse angry. So you're just asking your spouse for the blueprint. In the event that you do get angry, how do you want me to treat you?
Yeah. How would you like me to treat you?
Very, very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Another important thing, this one is a bit, but, it's up to you. You can see whether you want to, ask it or not. But if I was to pass away, for example, would you like me to remarry or not?
Yes.
Because I think this one is important because, life happens and this could happen. And some people feel like they can't move on because they feel like maybe their spouse would not want them to. And that couldn't be further from the truth sometimes.
Yeah. It's true because death is a reality of life. Look at that irony. Death is a reality of life. You will die. I will die. She will die. We don't know when it's going to happen. We're just hoping that we can get to live long. It's the prayer for every single one of us.
And I pray that you all live long.
Yes, we pray that we all live long, But then the thing is, life is one of those things that we can't give to ourselves and we can't sustain it to ourselves. And we all know of widows and widowers. If you ask them, they would have wished that their spouses were still alive because that's the reality. Your spouse just passes on. So in the event that happens, are you okay with me remarrying? Are you okay? What would you? Because people address death differently. Some people don't get married at all, and some people do get married. So it's important to talk about that. And it's very crucial. And I think also key also to that is what kind of a legacy would you like to leave behind? What kind of a legacy would you like to leave behind, darling? And then you're asking your spouse so that now you're not just living a life of here and now. You're living a life. What do you want to leave behind? Yeah, very, very important because marriage is not just about the romance, the I love yous and all that kind of stuff. It's about fulfilling purpose. So even tied to legacy, it's like what's your purpose? What's your purpose?
And some people don't know their spouse's purpose. So it's important to ask them. Maybe deep inside they're feeling, oh, I'm a mother now or I'm a father now and I can't do this. But maybe your spouse would like to help you actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
So asking each other that question, darling, there's this conversation about love languages, and what do you people talk about love languages. What do you think they're trying to express? What is that?
That leads us to the next question: is how would you like me to love you? What does love look like to you? Because you might have an idea and think, oh, I'm loving this person, right? And the person is thinking, Like I can give an example of myself. Like myself, it's acts of service. That's how I read love to be. Any other thing to me, it doesn't feel like love. I've got to see the actions. You've got to do for me to feel love.
Yes. And it's important because imagine, let's say your spouse loves gifts. And then you're over there showering them with words of affirmation. They're like, man, I hear you, but I'm not feeling that love. Or let's say your spouse's love language is physical touch. They just want you to touch them up, like, hey, please feel on my body.
Yeah.
And you are denying them that because you think that all they want is somebody who can pray for them. Oh, I pray for you, my husband. I pray for you, my wife. But they're like, you're not touching me. You're not touching me. I need to be touched.
Especially that one.
Especially that one.
To be touched.
Yes.
Please. Touch them.
You touch them, So ask your spouse. You could be loving your spouse the wrong way, and you're thinking you're the best husband ever, or the best wife ever, but your spouse is like, oh my good Lord, I'm not feeling loved in this marriage. And maybe it's not that you don't love them, it's just that you're not packaging your love the way they want to be loved.
Yeah. Another good question is, what habits of mine would you like me to change? Because sometimes we have habits that are annoying.
Yes.
No speakers.
No speakers. But then you're like doing your thingy, and then you're
and
like,
oh God.
Sorry
guys, I hope you're not eating right now.
You're putting your hand inside your crotch, and then you're like, honey, you're like, what's going on? What's going on? You're eating mannerisms, the way you're taking care of matters just in the house or handling yourself. You're using cuss words. You're just over there cussing like a sailor. You're like, your spouse is like, what are you doing? In front of our children, in front of visitors, and these are habits. Remember, habits are things that you're so used to doing them. It doesn't mean that they cannot be changed. Habits can be changed, and one of the best ways of changing your habits is replacing them with something else. Replacing them with a good habit. If you want to let go of a bad habit, replace it with a good habit, and that way you're going to be like, oh, okay, and do it over time, and before you realize it, it's actually part of your lifestyle. So all the best as you break those habits that are annoying your spouse.
Also, what would you like me to change? What is it about me that kind of acts you right now? Because sometimes we start well and then we just kind of fall off. So it would be nice to just know kind of what acts your spouse and change accordingly.
There's this phrase, darling, people like to say settling down. When they get married, they settle down.
Settle down.
And for some people, they really settle. Like they really, they don't, where they were is where they are, and that's who they are. They're like, so you really settle. That effort that you used to put to impress and please your spouse is no longer there. You've just settled. So this question is very important. What would you like me to change? Maybe I have settled. Maybe you don't like the way I speak to you. Maybe you don't like the way I handle finances. Maybe you don't like the way I parent our children. Maybe you don't like the way I disregard prayer in the house. Maybe it's the way it could be just something. Maybe you don't like the way I dress. I'm like over there, I'm dressing, you're like looking at you. Really? Is that what you're gonna wear when you're inside over there?
So it's all those things. And then it's also, what would you like me not to change? So what are those good things that you like that you just want me to continue doing?
Very important question, because those are things that makes you a keeper. So your spouse wants you to keep them because those are the things that your spouse fell in love with. Like, oh my goodness, when you're doing this, when you're saying this, when you're behaving like this was what was so attractive about you and made me commit to you. So, hey, please, darling, don't change those things. Very, very important question to ask. Yes.
Also, if you hurt me, do I have permission to tell you? Yeah. Also, it ties with correction.
It ties with correction, yes.
Am I free to correct you still? Because sometimes we get so upset, so annoyed that somebody is actually afraid to speak to you and say, hey, you've hurt me, or that didn't sit right with me. We shouldn't be scared of our spouse. We shouldn't be scared to communicate our needs and what we would like to our spouses.
Valuable question. If I hurt you, is it okay for me to correct you? And when your spouse is correcting you, are you receptive to that correction? Or do you argue it, brush it off, justify the wrong that you've done? Or do you take it in like, hey, my husband, my wife, you see things I don't see. You see my blind spots. You check me. You make me a better person.
Yes.
I want to grow. Iron sharpens iron. So if there's somewhere where I'm slacking, where I'm letting us down, I'm letting even myself down, tell me, like, hey, honey, you're better than this. You got greater potential. Honey, I know your heart.
Yeah.
I know who you are, and you can rise above this.
Yeah.
Hey, even say this at the same time. Where? I tell you. So very important to be able to communicate these questions. And just as you've said, this is part of you forming the constitution for your marriage and working in agreement, because how can two work together unless they agree? Agree together.
I agree.
See you next time.
See you next time.
On Akello Dayan TV, and we wish you
the very best of love.